Hi, my name is Owena, which means sunrise in Native American. And this is… You thought this was my sister? She's actually my mom, Sachin. To know more about our story, please like and subscribe. My mom had me when she was in her final year of drama school. Growing up, Dad wasn't around much and eventually left when I was just 4. For me, my mom was everything and I absolutely adored her. Since my mom was the most gorgeous woman, people used to think we were sisters. She was gorgeous, and I guess I got my good looks from her. One time when I was 7, Mom and I went to the mall and were having lunch in the food court, and a waiter asked for her number. "You look like you're in high school. Beat it, kid, or else I'll tell your manager." A mom and a daughter can't have lunch in peace. Terrific. After lunch, as we were roaming around the mall, we spotted a toddler competition being held there, and even though I wasn't exactly a toddler, I still won it without even participating. When the people started taking pictures of me and told my mom how I looked like Moana, Mom was over the moon. I know, right? I'm so gonna make her a star.
Mommy, like the stars in the sky or like the ones on my dress?
A movie star, sweetie. From there on, Mom focused all her energy into making me a star. In school, I was always in plays, and one time our school was doing the Wizard of Oz play, and my teacher decided to give others a chance to come forward and made me the Wicked Witch instead of Dorothy. But guess what? I aced that role too. Mom was so proud of me, but she wanted me to focus only on my acting career. So she started to homeschool me and hired acting tutors. They'd give me long scripts to memorize, and it would just exhaust me. Mom also wanted me to focus on maintaining an ideal weight, and she wouldn't let me eat any junk food. And worse, no ramen noodles, which was my favorite. It's for the best, my love. Remember, a moment on the lips, forever on the hips. Oh, that wasn't all. Mom also had the knack of embarrassment and stressing me out. No, it's not ghiaccio. It's pronounced ghiacciu. What am I paying you for? Mom, please. He is Italian, you know. I think you should let the professional do his job. But he's not doing it right. The audition is tomorrow, and we have so little time left to perfect your Italian accent. Well, the teachers stormed out, and I was left to practice with Mom. The next day, I was pretty nervous because I had a lot of trouble remembering my Italian lines. Right when I decided to have another look at the script, I realized it was gone. Just then, I spotted a girl looking really sneaky. It was Chloe. She used to be my friend when I started out my career, but the more roles I got, the more she hated me, and she didn't even try to hide it. We were always up against each other for every advertisement. I followed her, and what I saw made me scream. Chloe ripped my script and flushed it. What are you doing?
So, you're not just bad at acting, you also have bad eyesight. I'm getting rid of it, duh. I want this role. I hate it when my mom keeps comparing me to you. I am better than you. Oh, this witch. I wanted to slap her. Of course she compares me to you. I'm good at what I do. Unlike you, you jealous, two-faced witch. I then chased after her and crashed into a man, almost dropping his camera. He noticed I was in tears, and then I told him what happened.
Whoa, didn't know she was a nasty player, huh? You know what? Just then, he pulled out the script and gave it to me. He was the camera person for the advertisement and had the script with him. As I was practicing, I noticed him setting up the camera and couldn't stop staring. He then showed me how to set it up and even shot a video as I watched in awe. That was the day I knew I love being behind the camera more than in front of it. Oh, and I got the ad. Time flew by, and on my 18th birthday, I received the best news ever. After the party while cleaning up, I heard the sound of glass breaking and my mom screaming in the kitchen. Mom, what's wrong? Are you hurt? You got it. Oh my God, you got it. Mom, slow down. You got the audition for Elijah's film. Elijah Miller's film? The one who works for Disney? What? You see, Elijah Miller was the biggest award-winning director. I was a big fan. Not only was he handsome, but he was extremely talented too. I guess it was the first time I felt like I could really be a star. I worked hard, really hard, and seeing me so focused, Mom looked pretty happy. There is no way you aren't getting this role. Mom, I am excited, but don't get my hopes up. Why shouldn't I? Always have your eye on the prize. Got it? A day before the audition, I felt very stressed, so I took my camera and stepped out to get some fresh air. I bought the camera after an audition years ago. I began shooting videos every time I felt overwhelmed with the stress of auditions. but the most I did was make reels and put it up on Instagram under a different account. The videos did very well, and many people appreciated my work and even suggested I send it to filmmakers. But I had to focus on becoming an actor, Mom's dream and all. The day of my audition had finally arrived. I was shaking with excitement and nerves. Mom was there, as always, to support me on this big day. We suddenly saw some of the actors run with their friends and family members towards the door. My eyes almost popped out of my socket when I saw the Elijah Miller walk in. What happened next, however, dropped my jaw on the floor.
Sachin?
Oh my God, Elijah! It's been a long time. You still remember me? My mother knew Elijah Miller? What the heck? They kept talking and laughing like they've known each other for years. And they did. Turns out, Elijah studied at the same school as Mom and knew each other. She then introduced me to him, and I tried my best not to throw up, scream, and cry all at the same time. The fangirl in me was doing her very best to stay calm.
Owena, it's nice to finally meet you. The last time I saw you was when you were a baby.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm a big fan of your work. Elijah Miller saw me as a baby? What? Okay, Mom talks about everything under the sun to me, and she keeps this important information to herself? But oh my God, Elijah Miller knows me! Mom sent me away so she could talk to Elijah. As I walked towards the room, I felt someone's leg before I tripped and fell, screaming in pain. Everyone came rushing towards me, and I noticed my ankle was beginning to swell up. It was that snake again, Chloe.
Oh my God, Owena, are you all right? How dare she?
And then I heard Mom yell like crazy, and soon Chloe was taken away. Looked like everyone saw her trip me. Let me go! She's always taking my roles! Wow, I didn't know she hated me that much. I'm fine. I have to audition. Mom helped me up and took me to the room where my audition was taking place. Even though I tried to do my best given the situation, I still felt on edge and began stuttering. Mom then suddenly walked up to Elijah.
She is good. Trust me,
It's just the foot. Just let her finish. And then Elijah did the most weird thing. He handed Mom my script.
I trust you, Sachin. After all, she is your daughter.
Well, the audition went well. Or so I thought. But days had gone by, and I stopped waiting by the phone to hear news about my audition. I had almost given up hope. But one day, when Mom and I were watching a movie at home, her phone rang and she went ultrasonic after she cut the call.
Owena! Owena!
Mom, words? You got a role in Elijah's movie! You're kidding, right? I'm sure I ruined it. No, you didn't. But it isn't the one you auditioned for. They said someone else got that and you got the other one, which is like the second lead. Mom, it doesn't matter. I get to act in Elijah's movie. Mom and I were screaming our lungs out when the doorbell rang, and Elijah walked in. What is he doing here?
Sorry for showing up unannounced. I just wanted to personally give the good news. We just got the call about Owena being cast in the movie. Oh, yes, congratulations, Owena. But that's not what I'm here for. Sachin, I have decided to cast you for the lead role. I know you didn't audition, but...
What the what? Exactly. Elijah, I didn't audition.
But I want you for the role. Only you.
Oh my, really? Owena, isn't that great? I felt so hurt and betrayed, and when Elijah left, I spat. You're kidding, right? You can't take this role. Why not? I can't believe this. I walked away from Mom and ignored her for days. My anger towards this whole situation was just increasing. One day when I stepped out to clear my mind with my camera, I passed by some cute kittens near a restaurant window. I immediately started recording a video of them, and as I was zooming out, I saw Elijah in the frame. He was sitting in the restaurant with my mother. Here I was, struggling with my sprained ankle, feeling guilty, betrayed, and used because of her, and she's having lunch dates with him. I cannot believe her. The minute she reached home after her date with Elijah, I exploded. How could you? This is why you came along with me to the audition. You wanted it all along. You put this big dream over my head for years just to snatch it away? Honey, what are you talking about? There's some misunderstanding. Owena, you know I would never do that. It's always been my dream to see you become a big star. Why would I? Yeah, right. Your dream to see yourself become the star, not me.
You are a selfish person. You used me to get this audition, and now you're flirting with Elijah to get this role. The role you prepared me for all these years. You know something? I didn't even want to be an actor. I wanted to do it for you, to make you proud.
But, Owena, honey, I thought you liked it. Why didn't you ever tell me you weren't into this?
Oh, forget about it. I wish I left with Dad. Maybe then I wouldn't have been used like this. The second the words left my mouth and I saw my mom's face, my heart broke. But the feeling of betrayal overpowered me. Days passed by, and every time I saw Mom around the house, I would walk the opposite way. She tried to talk to me and would get me food, but I ignored all of it, and even let my anger get the best of me once when I flung a plate of food against the door. One day, I decided to stay out the entire day. I didn't want to see her face and say awful things to her again. Great. I'm still thinking about how she'll feel. As I was busy recording some videos, I saw a car with tinted windows slow down next to me. Like my life wasn't bad enough, and now I have some creep who might kidnap me. Right as I was about to try and run, the window rolled down and I saw Elijah smiling at me. He offered to drop me home, and I accepted only because of my sprained ankle.
So, still angry at Mom?
How did he know?
That day, I wasn't exactly out of the house yet when you... Anyway, I wanted to tell you that it's not Sachin's fault, you know. This was her role from the beginning.
Her role? And then Elijah told me the most shocking thing. He has always had an elephant-sized crush on Mom since school, and he wrote this script with her in mind. He asked Mom several times to act in the film, but she kept denying. And when she agreed, she found out she was having me.
I told her that she can do this role after you were old enough as well, but she said being an actor wasn't her dream anymore. You were. But I never stopped trying. I even met her one afternoon to convince her, but she said no. Looks like I'll have to scrap the idea to ever make this movie.
I was in a state of shock and felt extremely guilty. As soon as we reached home, I thanked Elijah and rushed inside, straight to Mom, and hugged her.
Owena, where have you been?
Mom, I am so sorry for saying such awful things.
It's fine, honey. You were angry, and I understand. I'm sorry too, but I want to tell you that I didn't take the role. I don't want anything to come between us, ever.
But you have to take the role. It's been yours from the beginning. I know. Elijah told me everything. He won't do the movie without you.
But honey, I can't.
No buts. Now please, let Elijah know before he announces it publicly that the movie is scrapped.
Okay,
but let's first have this. Mom then gave me a bowl of steaming ramen noodles, and I almost screamed with happiness. The next morning, Mom contacted Elijah to let him know that she would take the role. Elijah even offered me the role of an intern so I would learn more about filmmaking. A few years after the movie, Elijah asked Mom to marry him, and she said yes. And me? I went to film school and got a degree in filmmaking. So you see, it's never too late to achieve your dreams. And if you were thinking my story has ended, well, it has just begun.
Hi, my name is Pedro, and I'm from Brazil. Please like and subscribe to MSA. Even though my parents were poor, I always had big dreams as a kid. When I was 8, my best friend Maria and I used to sit at the bus stop on the weekends and would admire all the fancy cars that would drive past. Wow, did you see that BMW? I want one like that when I grow up.
I believe you'll drive a car like that one day, Pedro. Remember what our teacher said. If you believe it, you will have it.
Maria also came from a poor family like me, and I cared about her a lot. Once when we were in the 8th grade, she couldn't bring her lunch for the whole week because her parents were so broke. And even though she came up with all sorts of excuses not to take my lunch, I wasn't going to leave my friend to starve.
Pedro, I'm not that hungry. Please, I don't want to take your lunch.
You know you don't have to have pride with me. Come on, let's share.
Okay, but next week is my turn to share with you.
But when next week came, Maria had more than enough to share with me since her dad got a big job in the city.
I got us candy bars today.
Wow, thank you. I'm really happy that your family's doing well.
Yeah, and there's something else I need to tell you.
She looked a little sad, and then I felt sad when she told me.
We won't be living in the same place anymore. We're moving to the city, and I won't be in this school.
I was happy for Maria because she was going to have a better life, but I was sad since she was my best friend. We promised to write to each other every month, but as time went by, she stopped writing, but I didn't. I started focusing a lot on my studies when Maria left and became the top student in my school. When I was in 10th grade, I got selected to participate in a national math tournament. When I was at the tournament, I was so happy when I saw Maria. She was also selected from her school. Maria? She looked so beautiful now. Her eyelashes even looked longer than a normal person's. Maria looked at me like she didn't even know me. Or maybe it was because I also looked different. It's me, Pedro.
Oh, hi. It's been a while.
She looked down at my shoes and made a face of disgust.
I'm guessing you're still stuck at the poor people's location?
If that's what you call it.
Okay. I have to go. My friends are waiting.
That was not the Maria I knew, but I didn't let that distract me during the tournament. I beat all the kids, even the rich ones from Maria's school.
Well done, Pedro.
I was surprised that she even congratulated me after the way she looked at me. Thanks, Maria, and it was nice seeing you again. As I walked to the hallway, a tall man approached me. He was the principal of the most expensive school in the city. It was the same school Maria went to. Well done on your achievement today. I would love to have a student like you at my school. Thanks, sir, but I don't think my parents can afford your school for now. You would definitely qualify for a scholarship, and I could help you with that. When I told my parents about the offer I got from the principal, they were so happy. Dad immediately spoke to one of his friends who lived closer to the school to accommodate me, and he gladly accepted. After a month, I moved into Dad's friend's house. He had a daughter who was my age, Isabella, and she was on another level of always being happy.
I've always been an only child in this massive house. It's just me and my father. I'm so glad to finally have someone to talk to. Come on, I want to show you our swimming pool. I've won 5 gold medals because I practice every day.
Thanks, but swimming is not my thing.
What? Swimming should be everybody's thing. What would you do if the world comes to an end and the entire earth gets flooded? It'd have to be everybody's thing then. I'll teach you. Let's go.
Isabella was so persistent about everything. I did everything she asked me to do since her father was super kind to me. She never mentioned her mom, and I didn't want to intrude. When Isabella and I entered the school gates together, all eyes were on us, and I didn't understand why.
Oh my gosh, everyone thinks I'm dating the new hot guy.
Which new hot guy?
You silly. You're really cute. Don't you know that?
I blushed when she said that because I never really paid attention to how I looked since I focused so much on getting high grades. And then as we walked into our next class, all the girls started tapping the seat next to them.
Hey, new guy, you could sit next to me. Oh no, you should really sit next to me. I have all the answers to everything.
Isabella suddenly hid behind me when she saw Maria walk in, and then she took my hand.
He'll sit next to me. We come from way back. Isn't that so, Pedro?
I saw Maria glare at Isabella sternly, and she quickly ran to her seat and didn't look at me for the rest of the day. Maria pulled me along with her everywhere in school, and because I missed her so much, I stuck with her.
I'm so happy that you're in my school, Pedro, but we gotta get you some new shoes, okay?
But these are my favorite shoes, Maria.
I know, but change is good sometimes. Look at me. I live a fabulous life, which starts with how we look.
Isabella walked past me and Maria like she didn't even know me, and when I saw her after school to find out what was up, she acted like everything was normal. Hey, you suddenly avoided me? What happened?
Nothing. I just wanted to give you and Maria your space. She seems to really like you.
Yeah, we're old friends. Are you afraid of Maria?
No. She's just this popular girl who gets everything she wants, and I don't have any trouble at school, so we could just be friends at my house.
Okay, if that's what you want. The next day at school, Maria immediately approached me and took me to a quiet place, and then she took a new pair of sneakers from her bag for me. I felt very uncomfortable taking them. Maria, I told you I don't need new shoes.
Pedro, it's rude not to take a gift. You know that. Remember that time you made me share your lunch and I took it?
Yeah, but I was
Take my gift, Pedro. Please.
I looked at her eyes, and she looked like she was about to cry, so I took the shoes. But it didn't stop there. Maria changed my whole look, and I kinda liked it, but hanging out with her and her friends felt awkward. Like this one time when we were in 12th grade, they invited me to a beach party, and when I decided to bring Isabella along, Maria acted like she owned me.
Pedro, can I speak to you alone, please?
She seemed angry, and I left Isabella waiting for me.
Why did you bring her to a party that I invited only you to?
I live in her house, and she's my friend, so I thought it'd be okay.
Well, it's not okay, and I'm not happy. You were my friend first. In fact, I think I like you more than a friend now.
Maria suddenly kissed me, which caught me off guard. Before I could react, my phone rang and it was my dad. Sorry, I have to take this. My dad called to tell me that in a month's time, they would be losing the house because he lost his job. Maria could see that I wasn't okay, and because I was so worried, I ended up telling her everything.
So you're going to be homeless?
No, I won't allow that to happen.
Well, I don't know how you will do anything since you're still in school. But if you send Isabella back home and tell her that she's a loser, then I'll speak to my dad to help your family.
What? I can't do that. Isabella's family is helping me, and she's a good person.
She's a freak, Pedro, and you're hot and smart. And I want you all to myself.
I was so turned off with Maria. She wanted me to hurt another person for no reason, and I just couldn't do it. I went back home with Isabella, and she was happy to get out of the party because it wasn't her vibe either.
Maybe we can go get some ice cream?
Yeah, let's do that.
What did Queen Maria say? You looked so unhappy after you spoke to her.
Don't worry about it. I don't think I'll be hanging around her anymore. After our fun ice cream date, I started growing really fond of Isabella. She was sweet and accepted me for who I am. She was still very hyper about many things, but I started loving that about her. And then, after the weekend when I went back to school, everyone looked at me differently. Even the girls who dropped after me now looked at me like some poor, pathetic boy.
I can't have a homeless boy in our school.
I heard one of Maria's friends as she walked past me, and then I spotted Maria talking to a group of kids. I stood behind her. She was talking about me.
Pedro is a total fake. I had to buy him clothes and shoes because his family is going to be homeless soon. Wow. But how can someone so hot be so poor?
Maria, how could you do this?
Oh, speak of the poor devil.
She looked at me coldly, and then I took off the shoes she bought me and threw them in her face. Congratulations, Maria. Money has turned you into a real witch. I walked away from her, and Isabella ran after me.
Pedro, wait! Don't throw your education away because of her. Maria did something really humiliating to me once before, and that's why I stay away from her and whatever she wants.
What did she do to you, Isabella? Isabella started crying, and I hugged her. Then, she told me that she was the popular girl at school once before, and Maria was her best friend until she told everyone her big secret.
Maria kept asking about my mom, and then I told her something my family never shared with anyone. My mom is in a mental institute. Maria told everyone at school, and from that day, everyone called me a mental case.
Oh, Isabella, why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I didn't want you to think that I was a mad person. I'm not my mother. I'm me.
After what Isabella told me, I wanted nothing more to do with Maria. So I completed my last year of high school with Isabella by my side, and her dad also helped my parents not lose the house. Thank you so much for all that you did for my family. I hope to pay you back one day, sir. You have a bright future ahead of you, Pedro, and it was a pleasure having you in my house.
I'm going to miss you so much.
I got a scholarship to study medicine in one of the most prestigious universities abroad. And my school helped my parents pay for my flight ticket since I was the best student they ever had. I worked hard in university and became one of the best heart doctors in the world. When I went back to Brazil to visit my parents, I also paid a visit to Isabella and her father.
Pedro, I'm so glad to see you.
Isabella looked emotional. What's wrong?
My dad is in the hospital. It's his heart.
I spoke to the head of the hospital that Isabella's father was in, and I was ready to do anything to save him. While I was at the hospital, one of the nurses suddenly approached me.
Pedro?
I couldn't recognize her since she had her hair covered up, and when I looked closer, it was Maria. Hello, Maria.
Wow, you're a doctor now.
Yes, and I am a very busy person, so please excuse me. I walked past her, and I could feel her eyes still on me, but she was someone I forgot about a long time ago. After my successful operation on Isabella's father, he couldn't stop thanking me, and I was happy that I was able to do something good for him and Isabella.
Pedro, you are like my angel. You always come into my life at just the right time. When I was lonely back at high school, you filled up my life, and today, you saved my father.
I hugged Isabella, and then suddenly Maria tapped my shoulder. What can I do for you, Maria?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry to both of you.
She looked really sincere, so Isabella and I forgave her. She asked if we could have dinner together. I looked at Isabella and she nodded, so we hung out together. As we sat in a restaurant, we actually enjoyed ourselves. And when Isabella excused herself to go to the bathroom, Maria held my hand.
I still love you, Pedro. I don't know what came over me in high school, but I've changed now.
I slowly pulled my hand away from her, I'm sorry, Maria, but I'm in love with Isabella, and that's why I came back to Brazil. Maria understood and then got up and left.
Where's Maria?
She's gone, so it's just the two of us. I took Isabel's hand, looked into her eyes, and told her how I felt. Isabella, will you go out with me on a real date? She smiled.
So, I guess I did get the hottest guy in school after all.
She always knew how to make me blush. Never let your current situation determine your future. When life throws you lemons, make sweet lemonade.